In this video, I'm going to show you how to needlepoint with the satin stitch. The satin stitch is made of parallel lines of longer stitches that fill in a color area. It creates a cool look when used for accents like leaves or petals. The contours of the satin stitch will change based on the color area that you want to fill in. So here my example is just a little rectangle, but you always want to make sure that with a satin stitch, your stitches are moving diagonally up, bottom to top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you come up at 1, down at 2, up at 3, down at 4. So you're creating a continuous spiral, essentially. And when you look at the work on the front and the back, it should look the same. So you have full fill on the front and full fill on the back, and this can help to make sure that there aren't any holes where you can really see through the canvas, because if you part the satin stitch, the canvas is right there. So if you didn't have the coverage on the back, you might not have as much of a smooth coverage. You might be able to see the gaps between the stitches on the back. So in order to go ahead and start the satin stitch, you want to make sure that you have stitches in the surrounding area. You kind of want to save the satin stitch for later in your work. And this is because you want to be able to use a method of securing your yarn where you're going to go ahead and bury your yarn into another color area. So just trying to think about where my needle needs to be. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my yarn behind here. Come on. And pull the yarn all the way through and just leave it like that. And now I'm going to come back. This is such a small area that I'm looping back on itself so that the yarn is really secure. I don't want to be able to tug it out. So you've buried your stitches in the back, and then I'm going to come up in the very first, I'm going to create another little square that fills in this area here. Come up, and the very first stitch is just going to be a little shorty. And then they're progressively going to get longer to fill the stitch area. Careful, I don't want to split my other yarn. You can see that the area between my two satin stitches is not looking quite as filled. You can see some canvas spots. So I'm going to make really sure not to pull too hard. Actually, it looks like I'm, for a square, going to want to start moving. I can do one more stitch over. And now I'm going to start bringing my stitches shorter along the bottom here. Till my last stitch is just one little stitch, and made a little square of satin stitch. So coming from the back, in order to secure the yarn at the end, what I am going to do is actually feed the needle up through the stitch itself And then I'm going to feed it into the back of the yarn. Secure it. Bury it back behind this continental tent stitch here. And then grab scissors and snip off. So that creates a little square of satin stitch, and I hope that this helps explain how to make this stitch and that you have fun stitching. Take care. Bye-bye.